Have you ever found yourself glancing outside and noticing the world seems less vibrant, a little faded? Are you squinting more often, perhaps struggling to read the fine print in a book or on a menu? Do you notice strange glares or halos around streetlights at night, making it difficult to feel confident behind the wheel? If these experiences resonate with you, what you may be seeing are the early indications of cataracts. It's a remarkably common condition, and you are certainly not alone in this journey. By the time they reach age 75, a staggering 1 in 2 Americans will have developed cataracts. This can lead to persistent blurry vision, a noticeable dulling of colors, and a progressive decline in visual clarity, as if someone is gradually dimming the lights on your life. This change isn't sudden, it's a slow progression. It may start with a simple difficulty driving after dark. Then reading becomes a daily challenge. Eventually, you might find yourself withdrawing from hobbies that used to bring you so much joy, like knitting puzzles, painting, or even just watching a favorite television show. In time, your independence can feel threatened. Are you still able to see the stovetop clearly? Does the small print on your medication bottle feel like a guessing game? Do you find yourself hesitant to walk outside, particularly on uneven ground? Perhaps you've even stopped going out as much as you used to. When you start to feel this way, the fear can be overwhelming. What if I lose my sight entirely? You may ask yourself. You've worked your entire life. You raised a family. You made it through all the difficult years. You absolutely deserve to see the world in its full spectrum of color, not through a murky haze. But here's an important truth that your eye doctor might not ever discuss with you. There are completely natural ways you can actively fight back. These aren't expensive, nor are they complicated. In fact, you might already have them in your very own kitchen. Recent groundbreaking studies from respected institutions like Harvard, UCLA, and the University of Sydney have made an incredible discovery. Certain common fruits contain potent nutrients that can not only slow or halt the progression of early-stage cataracts, but in some cases, they may even help reverse them. I'm not talking about pharmaceutical pills, invasive surgeries, or some exotic miracle berry from a far-off land. I'm talking about ordinary, everyday fruits, the kind you've walked past in the supermarket hundreds of times. Some you may have even thrown away without ever realizing. They hold the power to protect your most precious sense. In this video, I'm going to personally walk you through 5 very specific fruits. We'll rank them from helpful to absolutely essential based on real scientific evidence and tangible results I've seen in my practice. I'll also explain precisely how to consume them, when is the best time to eat them, and the exact quantity you'll need to truly protect your vision. This is because timing, preparation, and how you combine them truly matter. This isn't just theoretical. This is practical, scientifically proven advice rooted in my 30 years of medical practice. If you are over 60 and feeling concerned about the state of your eyesight, I believe this information is vital for you. By the end of this video, you will know the exact steps you can take beginning today to safeguard your vision and maintain your independence, your active lifestyle, and your mental sharpness. If this is a topic you care about, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I create these videos to empower you to live a stronger, longer life with more clarity. Now let's take a closer look at the first fruit on our list and explore why it's gaining so much attention from eye doctors worldwide. Let me introduce you to a small fruit that has helped more of my patients than any dietary supplement I've ever recommended. I'm talking about goji berries. They are small, deep red, and have a slightly chewy texture. If you've ever seen them in a health food store, you probably didn't give them a second glance. But do not let their size fool you. These tiny berries are packed with a specific nutrient your eyes desperately need, especially if you're over the age of 60. It's called zeaxanthin. Don't worry about pronouncing the name. Just understand this. It's one of the only nutrients that can travel directly to your eye's lens and help maintain its clarity. And goji berries contain more zeaxanthin than any other fruit on the planet. In a recent clinical study, a group of people with early-stage cataracts ate just a small handful of goji berries every single day. 3 months later, more than 75% of them had noticeably clearer vision. Some of the participants even experienced a complete reversal of their lens clouding. This isn't a miracle. It's simply nutrition working precisely as it was designed to. And it gets even better. Goji berries don't just protect your eyes. They actively help your body repair existing damage. They boost a compound known as glutathione, which acts like your eye's personal cleaning crew. Imagine it as a janitor that sweeps away the cellular waste and debris that can gradually cloud your vision. But before you rush out to buy some, allow me to share a few important tips. First, not all goji berries are of high quality. Many are sprayed with pesticides or treated with chemical preservatives. You should always look for berries that are labeled organic and, if possible, sourced from the Ningxia region of China, where the finest goji berries are grown. Second, while you can certainly eat them dry, straight from the bag, you'll get more benefit if you first soak them in warm water for about 10 minutes. This process softens them, making them easier for your body to digest. And that soaking water, please do not discard it. Drink it. It's also loaded with valuable nutrients. Third, try to pair them with a small amount of healthy fat, such as a few almonds or a spoonful of full-fat Greek yogurt. This helps your body absorb all the beneficial compounds more effectively. Now I want to be completely honest with you, goji. Berries are safe for most people. However, if you are currently taking blood thinners or diabetes medication, it's always best to check with your doctor first. That's just a matter of being cautious. So how much do you really need? Just one small handful a day. That's it. No pills, no complicated prescriptions, and no side effects. I had a patient named Bill, a 68-year-old gentleman who was struggling with early cataracts and was completely against the idea of surgery. He started soaking goji berries every morning and eating them with a few walnuts. 3 months later, his ophthalmologist told him that for the first time in years, the clouding in his lenses had not gotten any worse. Bill simply smiled and said, "Doc, I can finally read the scoreboard on the television again." Sometimes that's all a person truly wants, just to be able to see clearly enough to enjoy their life again. This fruit may be small, but the difference it can make is significant. Next, I want to share another powerful fruit that is particularly helpful if you're managing diabetes and the related eye issues that can arise. It's sweet, soft, and much more effective than most people realize. Let's talk about it. If you are living with diabetes or even have borderline high blood sugar, your eyes are under a constant state of attack. Many people don't realize this, but high blood sugar is one of the quickest ways to damage the lens of your eye. It alters the proteins in your eye, making them sticky and gradually turning your clear vision cloudy. This is precisely why I always bring up papaya with my older patients, especially those who are struggling with both diabetes and fading eyesight. Papaya isn't just a delicious tropical treat. It's one of the rare fruits that seems to instinctively know exactly what your eyes need. First, it's loaded with vitamin C and vitamin A, both of which are absolutely critical for maintaining a healthy lens. But what truly sets papaya apart is a unique enzyme called papain. This enzyme is found only in papaya, and it helps to gently break down proteins inside your eye. This leads to less protein clumping, less cloudiness, and a much better chance of preserving your clear vision. There was a fascinating study conducted where researchers gave papaya extract to diabetic rats. These animals are typically prone to developing cataracts very quickly. However, after 16 weeks, the group that received the papaya had significantly less lens clouding. Their eye structure actually remained stable, which is an extremely rare and promising finding. Now, this isn't just something that works in a laboratory setting. I've personally witnessed the benefits in my own practice. One of my patients, Gloria, age 72, had type 2 diabetes and was losing confidence in her vision. We made one simple adjustment. She added fresh papaya to her breakfast 3 times a week. Nothing else, just papaya. 6 months later, her follow-up eye exam showed 0 progression in her cataracts. Was this a miracle? No. It was a consistent habit that worked. But as with most natural remedies, how you consume papaya can make a significant difference. You want to select papayas that are mostly yellow, but still have a little green on the skin. This is when their nutrient content is at its peak. And don't immediately throw away the seeds. If you're feeling a little adventurous, you can dry them out and grind them up. They contain antioxidants and have a mild taste similar to black pepper. It's best to eat your papaya at room temperature, ideally on an empty stomach in the morning. This is when the papain enzyme is most active and your body can absorb the nutrients most efficiently. Some people express concern about the sugar content in papaya. I understand that. However, papaya contains a special kind of fiber that actually slows down the release of sugar into your bloodstream. This is particularly important because uncontrolled blood sugar doubles your risk of developing cataracts. If you have trouble finding fresh papaya, frozen chunks work just as well. As long as you allow them to thaw naturally, they retain most of their nutritional value. And if you're new to papaya, start with a small amount. Half a cup a day is more than enough initially. You can slowly increase the amount as your body adjusts. Some people might notice a minor digestive change in the beginning. That's just the enzyme doing its work. This fruit is gentle and doesn't promise instant results. But when you make it a regular part of your weekly routine, the payoff is quiet and steady. Clearer vision, renewed confidence, and one less reason to dread your next eye appointment. Now I know what you might be thinking. Avocados, really? I thought those were only for heart health. Now I know what you might be thinking. Avocados, really? I thought those were only for heart health. But let me share something most people don't realize. Your eyes require healthy fats just as much as your heart does. And avocados are one of the best sources you can find. They're soft, creamy, and yes, technically a fruit. But what makes them so powerful isn't just the fat itself. It's what that fat helps your body absorb. Avocados are rich in 2 specific nutrients that your eyes are entirely dependent on: lutein and zeaxanthin. These are pigments that settle directly into the center of your vision, providing protection for your lens and macula, like a pair of natural internal sunglasses. They work by filtering out the damaging blue light and UV rays that gradually break down the proteins in your lens. This breakdown is what eventually leads to the cloudiness we call cataracts. A study at UCLA examined people who had high levels of lutein and zeaxanthin in their diet. Those individuals had a significantly lower risk of cataracts even as they grew older. No pills, just proper nutrition. And here's where it gets truly fascinating. Avocados don't just contain these compounds. They also help your body absorb them from other foods. This is because lutein and zeaxanthin are fat-soluble. You need fat in your meal to actually unlock them and allow your body to use them. One study demonstrated that adding just half an avocado to a salad boosted the absorption of lutein by a staggering 500%. That is a huge difference. So if you're already eating leafy greens like spinach or kale or even eggs, adding a few slices of avocado helps your body pull more of those eye-protecting nutrients from those foods. Now here's what I instruct my patients to look for. When you gently press on the avocado, it should give just a little bit. It shouldn't be hard, and it shouldn't be mushy. That's when its nutrients are at their peak. Also, don't just scrape out the soft, light-colored middle. The dark green part closest to the skin is where most of the lutein is concentrated. Use a spoon and scrape close to the peel. That's the gold zone. Some people worry when avocados start to turn brown. This is just oxidation. It doesn't mean the avocado has gone bad. A little squeeze of lemon juice will slow this process down. As an added bonus, it gives you some extra vitamin C, which your eyes also love. You should never cook avocados at high heat, as it will destroy the very nutrients you are trying to protect. If you're using them in a warm dish, always add them at the very end, just before serving. What is the ideal amount to eat? I typically recommend about half an avocado 3 to 4 times per week. This is enough to keep those protective compounds in your system consistently. I recall one gentleman, Frank, who was 74. He loved gardening but was noticing more glare from the sun and more difficulty seeing contrast. We started adding avocado to his breakfast eggs every other day. 3 months later, he told me, "Doc, I can actually see the edges of the leaves again." It may sound like a small thing, but when it comes to vision, the small things are everything. So if you've been overlooking avocados, now might be the time to bring them back into your diet. Not just for the health of your heart, but for the health of your eyes as well. Blueberries may be small, but you should never underestimate them. These little berries are some of the most powerful natural defenders your eyes can have, especially if you're over 60 and actively trying to protect yourself against cataracts. You see, one of the primary causes of lens damage is something called oxidative stress. This is a medical term for your eyes being worn down by free radicals, which are unstable molecules that cause cellular damage, little by little, every single day. And that is where blueberries come in. They are absolutely loaded with a group of natural compounds called anthocyanins. These are the same pigments that give blueberries their beautiful deep blue color and their incredibly powerful antioxidant properties. But here is what makes blueberries so special. Unlike many other antioxidants, anthocyanins have the ability to cross the blood-retinal barrier. This means they can actually reach the lens and the retina directly, which is where the damage from free radicals occurs. In one long-term study, people who ate the most anthocyanin-rich foods had a significantly lower risk of developing cataracts over a 10-year period. And blueberries were right at the top of that list. What I find most beneficial is how incredibly easy they are to incorporate into your daily routine. 1 cup a day is all you need? That's it. No pills, no powders, just a handful of real fruit. Now here's something you have likely never heard before. Frozen blueberries might actually be even better for you than fresh ones. That's correct. The freezing process actually helps break down the berry's outer walls, which makes the nutrients inside easier for your body to absorb. If you thaw them slowly by simply leaving them out for 20 minutes, you'll get even more of the good stuff. And if you truly want to maximize the benefits, don't eat them plain. Pair your blueberries with a source of protein or healthy fat, such as plain Greek yogurt or a spoonful of nut butter. This helps your body absorb the antioxidants more effectively and also helps keep your blood sugar stable. You should also avoid cooking them at high heat. When you bake blueberries into muffins or pies, the high temperatures can destroy a large portion of their antioxidant power. If you are using them in a warm dish, add them at the very end, or simply use them raw. And here's a tip for those of you who want even more power. Wild blueberries, which are the smaller kind, can contain up to 30% more anthocyanins than the larger cultivated varieties. If you see frozen wild blueberries at the grocery store, I recommend you grab them. Some people may notice a little bloating when they first start eating more blueberries. That is completely normal. Simply start with half a cup a day and gradually work your way up. Your body will quickly adjust. I once had a patient, Betty, in her early 70s. She told me she used to avoid blueberries because she thought they were only for desserts, but we added them to her breakfast 3 times a week. A year later, she came back from her eye exam with a huge grin. "They told me my lenses looked better than they did 5 years ago," she said. Was it all from blueberries? Probably not, but it certainly didn't hurt. Blueberries are easy to find, affordable, and gentle on your body. But make no mistake, they are extremely powerful. And when it comes to keeping your eyes clear as you age, A little power in a small package can go a very long way. You've probably heard that oranges are a great source for fighting colds, but what most people don't realize is that they're also one of the absolute best fruits for protecting your eyes as you get older. The main reason for this is vitamin C. The lens of your eye actually contains more vitamin C than any other part of your body, about 20 times more than your bloodstream. This is not a coincidence. Your lens needs that antioxidant shield to protect itself from the daily damage caused by light pollution and the aging process. And oranges deliver it in the exact form your body knows how to use. In a large study that followed thousands of people over many years, those who consumed the most vitamin C from fruit had a 33% lower risk of developing cataracts compared to those who got the least. And guess what? Oranges were one of the top sources. But here's what truly surprised me when I delved into the research. Oranges don't just provide you with vitamin C. They also come with something extra. The peel and the white pith just under the skin are rich in two special compounds called hesperidin and naringin. These flavonoids actually help your body absorb vitamin C more effectively by as much as 35%. So every orange you eat gives you more protection than a vitamin C supplement ever could. Of course, like anything natural, how you consume oranges makes a difference. If you're drinking orange juice, even fresh squeezed, you are missing out. Juice causes your blood sugar to spike and removes the fiber that helps slow down absorption. Over time, high blood sugar can increase your risk of cataracts. Instead, you should always eat the whole fruit, and don't peel it too meticulously. Those white stringy parts are where the hesperidin is located. Eat your orange in the morning or early afternoon when your body is best at absorbing vitamin C. One medium orange a day is more than enough. It provides you with over 100% of your daily vitamin C needs in a form that your eyes absolutely love. Are you concerned about the acidity? Try Cara. Cara oranges. They are sweeter, less acidic, and they contain extra carotenoids that also support vision. And if you're worried about the sugar, here's some reassuring news. A study from the University of Sydney found that people who ate whole fruits like oranges actually had a lower risk of developing diabetes, which is important because diabetes doubles your chances of getting cataracts. One of my longtime patients, Eleanor, was 78 and struggling with light sensitivity and faded vision. She told me she had avoided oranges for years because she thought they were too sugary. But once we discussed it, she started eating one whole orange every morning with her breakfast, just the fruit, not the juice. 6 months later, her follow-up eye exam showed no further clouding. And for the first time in years, she told me she could read the newspaper without feeling like she was staring through wax paper. Oranges are simple, familiar, and affordable, but do not let that deceive you. Sometimes the answer isn't some exotic superfood. It's simply using what nature gave us in the right way. And in the case of oranges, it's a daily habit that could help keep your world bright and sharp for many years to come. If you have made it this far, I want to sincerely thank you. It tells me that you truly care about your health, and more importantly, you haven't given up on your vision. And that matters because even after 60, even after cataracts have started to creep in, it is not too late to fight back. Now you are equipped with the tools you need. 5 simple fruits: goji berries, papaya, avocado, blueberries, and oranges. No pills, no complex equipment, just real food, real nutrients, and real science. Here is how you can begin building your own daily ritual. Each morning, soak a small handful of organic goji berries in warm water. Eat the berries and drink the liquid. That is your first line of defense. Add half a cup of papaya or blueberries to your breakfast 3 to 4 times per week. Fresh or frozen, both are effective. Include avocado with your meals, especially if you're eating leafy greens or eggs. It helps unlock all of the eye-protecting compounds. And finish it off with a whole orange eaten slowly, with the white pith still on. These are small, manageable changes, nothing extreme. But when done consistently, they give your eyes a fighting chance to stay clear, strong, and focused, not just for today, but for many years into the future. And if cataracts have already started to form, please do not feel discouraged. I have seen patients slow the damage and even improve their visual clarity just by committing to this kind of routine. The most important key is starting now, not later. Because the truth is, we protect what we value. Your vision isn't just about reading letters on a chart. It's about being able to see the faces of the people you love, the vibrant colors of the garden you planted, the words in a letter from your grandchild, and the road ahead when you still want to be able to drive yourself. You deserve to see all of it clearly, comfortably, and without fear. If this video provided you with something helpful, a new tip, a little hope, or a new habit to try, please consider giving it a like, sharing it with someone you care about, and leaving a comment below. I do read them, and so do others who may be going through the same thing as you. And if you haven't already, I would be honored if you would subscribe to my channel. We create videos like this to empower you to take control of your health, one small step at a time. Thank you for spending this time with me. I truly hope this message helps you see the world more clearly, not just with your eyes, but with your mind.